Alright guys, welcome back to this video. We are going to learn how to create this stunning double exposure effect in Photoshop. Let's get started. Alright, here on the screen you can see I have an image of this gentleman. So the first thing I'm going to do is to select this image to remove it from the background. So I will go this time to select and then choose subject select. When the operation is done, let us go down here to where it says layer mask and add a mask to this image. Now you can see that the subject command did an incredible job. It's very nice. And if you look here, I already have some document tabs which are open, which we will use on this particular image. So I will now switch to this new image and make sure it is unlocked. Then I'll use my move tool to grab it onto the existing document I'm currently working on. So here it is now on top. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Before I actually scale this image up, I will make sure I convert it to a smart object. Once that is done, I need to rotate the image like so. Alright. Now my main focus is to move the image to the portion of the image I need to actually affect, okay? So in this case, I just need the image to cover the guy's face and not the chest. That is why I have the image the way it is. So I'm just going to confirm those changes. And of course, if you watch my video about smart objects, you will know that we can't use the brush tool on this layer because it is a smart object. So the way to work is to actually rasterize the layer, and then down here beside the effects icon, let us click on this camera icon to add a layer mask to that particular image. Now I'm going to press the B key on my keyboard to switch to my brush tool. The first thing I have to do is to make sure that I have my opacity set to 60% and the flow to 100. Now I'll press the D key to establish my foreground and background color. Right now the foreground is white, which is not what I want, because I actually want to hide the details around the guy's face right here. So to do that, I'm going to press the X key to switch between the foreground and background color. And now with the layer mask layer selected, I'm going to paint on this image just like so. By doing so, we are able to make sure that the ocean transitions directly into the guy's body like so. I think this portion right up here doesn't need to be there, so something like that will work. Now notice that currently I don't have any blending mode set. All I'm using is layer mask to hide and reveal details. So here you can see I have this image of this cloud. I will just grab the move tool and make sure the layer is unlocked, and I will drag it onto this image just like so. Now that it fits, let us go to blending mode and choose soft light. Alright, now let us again add a mask to that particular image and make sure the mask is selected. Then let us press B to go to our brush tool. Since the foreground color here is white, it means that I can actually paint on the guy's face to reveal it, just like so. My goal here is to make sure that the guy's face should actually show up clearly. So I think right about this level it looks nice, but we seem to have some missing pixels right around this portion. So I'm going to switch the foreground and background color, and then I might even reduce the size of my brush, and then I paint in back those details like so. Then the next thing we have to do is to switch to the city image. The city image is in this new document, this city document right here. So right now I'm going to again grab the move tool and just drag this image onto the layer I intend to place it on. And when I'm inside here, I release, and then I try to make sure it is positioned correctly on the screen. And then what I'll do next after placing the image is to go to this normal option and click and change the blending mode to screen. That way all the darkness that was in the image will get knocked out. The next thing I have to do is to make sure that this white portion of this image get tilted towards this section. Alright, since I have the image selected, I'm just going to click to move it to the side just like so. The next thing I need to do is to make sure that this city image only shows up on this section of the image. Alright, I don't want it to interfere with the ocean waves right here. So what I'm going to do is to switch to my brush tool, and then I'll make sure my foreground color is set to black. And then since the mask is added here, I'll make sure the mask itself is selected, and then I'll increase the size of my brush as well as reduce the hardness to 0, and then I'll paint over these portions to reveal the ocean. Then here on the options bar, I can take down the opacity and even reduce the size of my brush, and then carefully paint here to have that smooth transition. Everything looks nice. Then there is last thing we need to do, and that is to add the thunder effect right here. So I'll grab this image and drag it onto the document we are currently working on. Now since it is placed on top, it looks very big to me. So I'm going to right click and then choose convert to smart object. The reason I'm converting into a smart object is to make sure that if I scale it up and down, the image will not become pixelated. So right now I have to just make sure the image scale to fit, and when I'm done I hit the check mark to confirm. Now since we cannot use the brush tool on this particular image, it doesn't really matter because all I need to do is to knock out the black pixels that are on it by switching the blending mode from normal to overlay. And by doing so guys, we have this nice effect going on. So with a combination of some powerful images and then the ability to change the blending mode, we are able to create this nice cool effect right here on the screen. I think it looks really nice and awesome. Always remember that with the layer marks, you can always paint to reveal or paint to hide, okay? That is where the foreground and background color comes into play with the brush tool. If you paint with black, you are going to hide the details, and if you paint with white, you are going to reveal the details. So black is used to hide, and then white is used to reveal. Take like darkness and sunlight. Alright, so that is it for this video. I really hope that you found something interesting in this video, and I can't wait to share upcoming videos with you. Subscribe to this channel, in that way you'll be the first person to get notified when new videos are out just like this. You can see it didn't take us a lot of time to create this cool effect right here. You can play along with it, but this is the general idea behind double exposure effect in Photoshop. I'll see you in the next one.